Thank you so much, Ms. Charlotte, for this wonderful presentation. Thank you for being with us. Moving on to our next session titled Public-Private Partnerships, where we will be exploring how collaboration between the public and private sectors can create innovation and learning opportunities. Help me in welcoming our moderator, Ms. Lara Shaya, the Government Partnership Manager at Coursera.
Assalamu alaikum. Good afternoon, everyone. It's great to see you and welcome to the Knowledge Summit 2025. Today, we're talking about something every country in our region cares about. How can the public and private sector work together to scale learning and build national talent? And this topic is very dear to my heart. I have spent the last several years working with governments across the region on national upskilling programs. And I have seen firsthand how powerful public and private partnerships can be when done the right way. And this matters today more than ever because the skills landscape around us is transforming at an incredible speed. We've seen in Charlotte's session some of those data. ChatGPT users reached 100 million in just 2 months. That is faster than any technology in history. Job postings requiring AI skills increased by 20 times in 2023 alone. And 71% of leaders prefer to hire someone with AI skills, even if they have less experience than others. And now some companies are even paying 35 to 40% higher salaries for people with AI skills. So what does this mean? All of this reminds us of 3 important things. If we, as government, industry partners, and educators, want to build a strong national talent and keep up with the change, we must work on 3 things. 1, we must work together in smarter ways. 2, we must use technology and innovation to reach more people. And 3, we must focus on measuring impact so that partnerships last and not just stop at the pilot phase. These are the ideas we'll explore today in our session, with examples from Morocco, from the UAE, and from Kuwait. To help us navigate these ideas, I am honored to welcome 3 leaders who bring deep experience from across the region. Please join me on stage, Madam Nisreen Ibn Abdel Jalil, Director General of the Moroccan Foundation for Preschool Education. Engineer Bassam Jayed Tahir Al-Shammari, board member at the Al Sabah Informatics Award in Kuwait. And Dr. Ahmed Shaban, Director of the Strategy and Future Office at the Sharjah Private Education Authority. This is probably my first silent session, so if you can all hear us properly, perfect, all right. Ahla wa sahla. Before we delve into our discussion, I would like each of you to introduce yourself to the audience, starting with you, Madam Nisreen.
Yeah. Thank you. Is it working?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Nisreen Ibn Abdel Jalil. I am the General Director of the Moroccan Foundation for Preschool Education. And to rapidly introduce the Moroccan Foundation for Preschool Education, it's the lead and actor managing the public preschool network in Morocco.
Very nice to meet you.
بسام جايد الشمري عضو مجلس أمناء جائزة سمو الشيخ سالم العلي الصباح للمعلوماتية. الجائزة it's a non-profit organization started in Kuwait in 2001. Actually, this year we are celebrating 25 years of
No, I'm showing the slide.
Okay.
Okay, all right. Dr. Ahmed?
Yeah, Ahmed Shaban, Director of Strategy and Future Office at Sharjah Private Education Authority. I'm also an educator, so I'm teaching a couple of topics within universities in UAE, including HCT, IOD, and a couple of other universities.
Thank you and welcome again. It's an honor to have you with us. As I mentioned earlier, our conversation is going to touch on 3 ideas, which is how we collaborate, how we can use technology and innovation to reach more learners, and finally, how to measure success and build partnerships that last. So we will start with the first session, first topic, and is how we collaborate to scale national programs. And I'd like to start with you, Madam Nisreen, with the first question. In your view, how did the involvement of different partners, especially through the PPP, help achieve a successful national scale-up of preschool teacher training?
Okay, maybe before talking about upscaling our teachers, I will talk about the program that was launched in Morocco in 2008 to widen access to preschool education. So in 2018, we had a national initiative that enabled us to go from a preschool rate of less than 50% to now 90%. And this is a huge step. And it's a very particular and specific partnership because it's a partnership between the government and NGOs. One of the biggest NGOs is the Moroccan Foundation of Preschool Education, managing today 70% of the public preschool. So that enabled us to go really fast. So from 2018 to today, we have more than 30%. We gain more than 30% in the preschool rate. And also, we have now a public preschool of almost 65% where the public preschool offer was less than 10% before 2018. So, of course, when we launched this program, and it took a very particular also turn in 2022 because we have signed an important agreement with the government. And within this agreement, we also signed an agreement on preschool education. So what's the innovation is that before, the government was training through its centers or universities, but this partnership had put the foundation in charge. And we gained because of the foundation expertise, we were able to deploy also initial training to more than 20,000 educators in a very short time, especially that we start with, we hire high school diplomas, so they really need a training. So with this partnership, we were able to spread very quickly and to spread it to an important number of educators, knowing that it is publicly funded. So it's a very interesting partnership where the foundation brings its expertise and the government funds and helps in logistical matters.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Nisreen, Madame Nisreen, and I think this is an excellent example. The government and the NGO partnered together, and they reached huge numbers. Like we're talking 20,000 preschool teachers, and this cannot happen if the government is doing it alone. They need more muscles, and they've chosen FMPS. Thank you so much. Staying with the idea of collaboration and national impact, Mhandis Bassam, as a digital transformation leader, how do you see Al Sabah Awards Informatics with its unique Kuwait AI initiative acting as a national catalyst to elevate Kuwait's digital, creative, and AI capabilities? And how can such initiatives systematically strengthen the country's human capital development?
شكرا اول شيء على الاستضافه. طبعا احنا مساعدنا يمكن قلت ان الجائزه از نون بروفيت اورجانيزيشن، وهذا يعطيها شوي القوه وانها تشوف المؤسسات الحكوميه على مستوى الحكومه كيف تعمل وكذلك الخاصه وكذلك الافراد يعني. فاليوم انا استحضر ان قبل 25 سنه كنا ساهمنا في محو اميه الانترنت، واليوم علينا يعني تحدي كبير في ان محو أمية الذكاء الاصطناعي. فالجائزة في 2015 أطلقنا استراتيجية الاقتصاد الرقمي، وكان إحدى مبادرات الاستراتيجية هذه إنشاء أكاديمية المعلوماتية في عام 2019. وفي الحقيقة استمرت برامج الأكاديمية هذه حتى أثناء كورونا، والنقلة الكبرى اللي صار في أثناء الجائحة في استخدام التقنيات في العالم كله. أطلقنا هذا العام مبادرة الكويت AI. هي مبادرة وطنية لتعليم الذكاء الاصطناعي، لأن اليوم الخليج في منطقتنا في الخليج تم استثمار وسيتم استثمار المليارات في البنى التحتية للذكاء الاصطناعي. للخمس سنوات العشر سنوات القادمة. والخليج راح يصير هب بين الشرق والغرب. يعني والله الحمد اليوم في رؤى قياداتنا في الخليج أن سيصبح إن شاء الله هب بين الصين وأمريكا. كيف نصبح جاهزين لهذا الهب؟ فلذلك يجب علينا الاستثمار في العنصر البشري. فهذه من جهة. الجهة الثانية، الجهة المهمة أيضا اللي مو قادرة مثلا الحكومات تسويها، إذن إحنا كجهات غير ربحية نقوم فيها. فلذلك استطعنا أن نكون يمكن شراكة، ونؤمن إحنا من تأسيسنا وإحنا قاعد نعمل في شراكات كبيرة في داخل الكويت والوطن العربي وكذلك عالميا. يعني فأساس قوة المبادرة هذه إذا ما كنا نعمل مع شراكة فما راح يعني نتقدم أماما. فلذلك عملنا شراكات حكومية، وعملنا أيضا شراكات خاصة، وأيضا مع شراكات بحثية وتعليمية. البرنامج متجه حق شخصين، حق نوعين من الأشخاص، اللي هو مستهلك التقنية وكذلك مصنع التقنية. فالمستهلك التقنية بدأنا في برامج عديدة في ريادة الأعمال، في برامج الإعلام، في المحتوى، في عدة كيف يستخدم اليوم المواطن. خلينا نسميه المواطن citizen development، citizen developer، المواطن الذكي، كيف يستخدم التقنيات الجديدة في زيادة إنتاجيته. وحطينا لهم برنامج خاص. وكذلك هناك برنامج معد تماما مع كورسيرا. أيضا في الحقيقة أيضا هم كورسيرا بارتنر أساسي معنا في هذا البرنامج، في سمناه رواد الذكاء الاصطناعي في الكويت. وإحنا في الحقيقة نطمح إن شاء الله إلى تخريج أول 100 رائد ذكاء اصطناعي في الكويت وفق مهارات معينة لتغطيتها في إن شاء الله بداية في الكويت ومن ثم في المنطقة. فالبرامج طبعا متعددة ومتنوعة وراح تستمر خلال ال5 سنوات الجاية.
شكرا كثير مهندس بسام. واي ثينك كمان هيدي another example على كيف نحن بنعمل شراكات بين البرايفت والببليك sectors. مثل ما نكون شايفين بالسلايد it's a beautiful presentation. Kuwait AI, it is one national upskilling program. والجائزة عملت government sector، جابت government sector ومش شخص، جابت عدة entities من government sector والprivate sector والNGOs. And now they're working on this national initiative that is gonna run مش pilot ل5 سنين لقدام. Thank you so much مهندس بسام. Moving to the next sector إذا بدك اللي هو education sector and how collaboration plays out inside schools and classrooms. Dr. Ahmad, how does SPIA ensure that partnerships with stakeholders are grounded in a deep understanding of the real needs of schools and educators, delivering sustainable impact rather than short-term results?
I think maybe it's important to let you know more about Sharjah and what we do in Sharjah. SPIA is the Sharjah Private Education Authority. We are the regulator and licensing government body for education in Sharjah. We are here for elevating education, regulation and licensing of public nurseries, private schools, and also universities. Our landscape is really huge, so we have around 130 schools covering 10 different curricula, 170 nurseries, 9 different universities, covering 12,000 teachers, 200,000 learners in all schools, nurseries, and universities. This is the landscape of Sharjah, and this is what we do in Sharjah. We are a very young organization. We are a 7 years old organization, so we started 2018, and definitely we cannot do what we are doing now with the lovely KPI and measurement without partnership with public sector and even with the government. And that's why we started a long time back with a lot of partnership, and we're really focusing on how to crowdsource and how to co-design and co-create and also utilize the knowledge and the information from private sector. In Sharjah also we have different, let me say, circles. One of those circles is school principal councils, where we are using and co-creating and co-designing all ideas with them. We have also a lot of sessions running with students, with teachers, and also parents. We name it learning communities and also education councils. And we have as well many other ways to listen to customer voice and ensure that the needs and preferences are coming really from the market and from the right sources. At the same time, we have also a very solid strategy, 2025, 2028. This is our third cycle of strategy. And we have four main pillars within this strategy, focusing on well-being, quality of life, continuous learning, competitiveness of the emirate itself. And again, we have six different goals. And the goal number one is skills. So we are really focusing on skills and keeping skills at the center of what we do. We have also partnership with universities. So one of our very good partners in Sharjah, Sharjah Education Academy, where we are really trying to make sure that whatever we try and pilot and do within our schools is really backed up with research, just to ensure the impact. Impact is really important. And for us, 2025, 2028 is strategy of impact, where we need to make sure that whatever we have is, first of all, aligned with our strategy. Secondly, really working to impact education, learners, schools, education institutions, and also running and coming with real measurement that can confirm the change, either qualitative and with quantitative as well measurement.
Thank you, Dr. Ahmad. I would like now to talk about the next idea, which is how we can use technology and innovation to reach new learners. And I want to build upon what you've said, Dr. Ahmad, and would like to know, in your experience, what are some examples where SPIA's collaboration that you spoke about and the diverse partners in Sharjah has used technology and innovation to directly improve teaching quality and student readiness?
A good question, and I think it's important to mention a couple of design principles we have in Sharjah. The first design principle is technology as enabler. We need to make sure that technology is there to enable, not to replace anyone. And again, to have the front-facing usually with humans, and humans are enabled by technology. This is one. The second design principle we also have in Sharjah, we need to make sure that are we getting solution looking for a problem, or is it problem looking for a solution, which is very important. We will see all over the world a lot of solutions are coming, and it's not matching and fitting with the needs of the community. So really we are starting usually with a problem. What is the problem we have in Sharjah? And let's find the proper solution to fix this. So this is one of the things we are trying to do. In Sharjah, we are trying to focus on how to make the technology enabler for learning process. So again, it's not only about courses, and it's not only to replace teachers, it's how to enable teacher. So we have a lot of applications where we have technology to enable education through lesson planning, through counseling and coaching for students, through also building development and competencies for either teachers or even students. So a couple of the examples of partnership we have in Sharjah. Last year we had a great partnership with Google for education, and again with Al-Futain for education. We have also discussion with Coursera, and it's all about building capabilities and how to make sure that teachers are ready and enabled to provide the proper human interaction that is really rooted to values and enabled by technology.
Thank you, Dr. Ahmad. Madam Nisreen, you spoke that you are upskilling 20,000 preschool teachers in Morocco. How has online learning helped you train teachers in remote or rural areas of Morocco? And how did you overcome challenges such as limited internet access or lack of devices?
Well, for us, online training is really key because we have a very big network, especially in rural areas. And also we have some other constraints. What I didn't mention earlier is that generalizing access to preschool education is still a challenge in the MENA region, in Africa, and even in developed countries. And in Morocco, we have reached today an 87% overall access with a 65% of public offer. That means that the government is making huge effort in financing, in subsidizing preschool education. So, we have two other big constraints, is that the time frame for generalization is only 10 years. We committed to achieve generalization by 2028. And also we hire high school education with high school diplomas, so they really need training. So we have all this to keep in mind. So we need to optimize the costs, we need to train our educators, and we need to keep the classrooms operational, because it's a public service. So of course for us, online training was really important, but doing it in good quality. So we, of course, we have equipped all our educators with smartphones, so they can have access to online courses. But also, which is very important, we've put a dedicated platform so educators can access the online courses at their own pace. It doesn't have to be in a synchronized way, but we also keep synchronized moments for our trainers to explain more fundamentals to educators. And what I would also like to share about this approach, of course, is that it's very time saving, because they don't have, especially in rural areas, the educators don't have to travel all the way from where they are. Sometimes it can take almost a day to travel. We don't have transportation everywhere. It costs money. So this was really online training was very helpful because it helps us resolve all these constraints, costs, and it's comfortable for educators. And also it's more suitable for Gen Z, like, we are talking about AI and all these skills, all these things that we also work on, but and at the first step, we focus more on fundamental skills for early childhood education.
Thank you, Madame Nesrine. Staying on the idea of innovation, but this time from a youth and digital perspective in Kuwait. Engineer Bassam, from your perspective, what innovation models or emerging technologies have the greatest potential to inspire young people across Kuwait to develop advanced digital and AI skills?
يعني احنا يمكن الوقت هو يتكرر، يعني من يعني عفوا موضوع تقنيات الانترنت والمعلوماتيه، وبعدين عفوا الى السمارت الذكيه، الثوره الصناعيه الرابعه، والحين الذكاء الاصطناعي، فهي عمليه ابتكار وتكنولوجيا متلازمه مع بعضها البعض، بس تنتقل باختلاف الوقت واختلاف التكنولوجيا. فكان عندنا يعني كنا يعني مؤسسه شويه هي غير ربحيه، فعندنا الاجيلتي شويه، عندنا فلكسبيليتي، عندنا السرعه في اتخاذ القرارات. يمكن شويه هذا يخلينا في موقع افضل ونقدر نساعد في الدوله، خصوصا في بين الجهات التعليميه. الجهات التعليميه اليوم مطلوب منها انها تتطور، ايضا التحول الرقمي ايضا مطلوب من الجامعات والمعاهد انها، ولكن هي مش قادره بسبب سرعه التغيرات هذه من جهه اللي نرصدها احنا، والجهه الثانيه المؤسسات ومتطلبات المؤسسات، واللي ذكرتوه في تقريركم واللي هو السكيلز بيست اورجانيزيشن. فهناك في فجوه بين المخرجات التعليميه اللي قاعد تطلع في عفوا من الجامعات والمعاهد على مستوى عفوا الكويت، على مستوى المنطقه، على مستوى العالم ايضا، وكذلك المؤسسات اليوم ما هي لاقيه التالنت اللي بيحل مشاكلها، والانوفيشن موديل اللي المفروض يكون بيست على التشالنج وبيست على انك انت الفاليو. فعلى هذا احنا طورنا الانظمه مالتنا، عملنا الاكاديميه وطورنا النظام هذا، لان شفنا الجابس اللي المفروض السكيلز هذه نعطيها حق الشباب اللي هم سواء كانوا من عمر 16 مش شرط انه يكون بالجامعه، لكن يكون هو حتى في السنوات الأخيرة في الثانوية، في المدارس، في الثانوية العامة، وكذلك في الجامعة وفي ريادة الأعمال بعد الجامعة. فلذلك شفنا ذا موست اليوم نتكلم عن وقتنا الحالي، يعني هو علم البيانات ومهندس الذكاء الاصطناعي ومطور الذكاء الاصطناعي. طبعا هناك فرق بين كل تقريبا مجال ذكرته، ولكن هناك أيضا تشابه كبير. ولكن اليوم احنا متى ما استطاعت أي دولة في إنها تخلق المهارات هذه وتزود فيها الشباب اللي موجودين عندهم، او خلينا نقول راس المال البشري، وهذيلا تزودهم حق السوق، هو اضافه حق الدوله في تحقيق القيمه. لان الانسان مطلوب منه، او احنا مطلوب منا اليوم ليس فقط استثمار في الهاردوير، ملايين ومليارات ان نصرفها في مثلا في البنى التحتيه، ولكن الافضل يعني والاهم هو الاستثمار في مهندس الذكاء الاصطناعي. لأن مهندس الذكاء الاصطناعي هو سوف يخلق القيمة وسوف يخلق الاقتصاد اللي قاعد نراه حق السنوات القادمة في المستوى الأول. في المستوى الثاني مطور الذكاء الاصطناعي، لأن مطور الذكاء الاصطناعي سوف يستخدم البنية التحتية أو اللي سواه المهندس في أنه تطبيقات متكاملة مع هذا، فبالتالي راح يسوي سوق أكبر والمفروض أن اليوم مو كل دولة في كل شيء. كل دولة مثلا نحن الآن في دول مجلس التعاون كل دولة تأخذ اتجاه وتركز على اتجاه معين حتى يكون هناك تكامل، وكذلك الدول العربية وكذلك مع الدول العالم. ومن ثم اخترنا أيضا علم البيانات في برنامجنا، لأن نؤمن علم البيانات هو يعني العنصر الأساسي والمهم، وكذلك لسبب ثاني، لأن علم البيانات مهندس الكيمياء ومهندس الميكانيك والصيدلي والدكتور يجب أن يكون مهندس عالم بيانات. فلذلك وحتى المهندس الكمبيوتر اكتشفنا أن هناك أيضا ليس تخصصهم وليس خريجين الجامعات ولا يعملوا تخصصات الجامعة، ولكن شغف التكنولوجيا وحبهم للتكنولوجيا أفضل، وقد نجحوا أفضل من المتخصصين في هذا. ولكن هذا ما يمنع هناك التقاطعات هذه موجودة، ولكن عندما أنت تستهدف مهندس الذكاء الاصطناعي ومطور الذكاء الاصطناعي وعلم البيانات في برنامج موجه ومدروس، وطبعا يعني البرنامج هذا يجب أن يكون له تحفيز، لأنه يقول لك اليوم أنا أي واحد قاعد في بيته اليوم يقدر يدش على كورسيرا وياخذ التراك هذا كله مال IBM، وياخذ حتى مال مايكروسوفت، وياخذ مال كل الشركات هذه، ولكن النسبة قليلة في العالم لو تلاحظون، ونسبة كورسيرا أيضا حتى قليلة. ليش؟ السبب الأساسي في هذا لأن ما في منظومة تحفيزية تشجع. الجامعة مشغولة في كورساتها، ولو تروحون الجامعات وأكبر الجامعات العالمية اليوم ما ودك تكمل الدرس في كبرى الجامعات العالمية، لا يعترف بالتكنولوجيا في كبرى الجامعات تتكلم في الولايات المتحدة الأمريكية. فبالتالي احنا دورنا كجائزة كنون بروفيت اورجنايزيشن نرصد هذه الفجوة ونحط البرنامج التحفيزي للشباب. 100 رائد ذكاء اصطناعي اليوم راح يطلع عندي 100 رائد ذكاء اصطناعي وسوف يكونون في سجل وطني. حط اسمك في هذه القائمة وابدأ اصنع مؤسستك وديرتك ودورتك وسوي اقتصادها. فالمنظومة متى ما أسست هذا التحفيز، النظام المحفز والبرنامج المتكامل، واللي هذا دورنا احنا اللي قاعد نسويه في انه نسكر كل نقاط الضعف عشان ننجح. مو بسهل، انا اقول لك يعني العملية مو بسهلة، ولكن تحقق متى ما كانت مدروسة صح. انا شفت في هناك برامج دول كثيرة ولكن متشتتة، ممتازة بالعكس ترفع النولج وتسوي هذا، ولكن الدول اليوم بحاجة إلى استراتيجية بالضبط. أنت شنو تبي؟ أنا حطيت AI، أبي عدد من المهندسين AI، أبي عدد من مطورين AI، أبي عدد من الساينس حق النكست 5 years. وشنو أهدافك؟ شنو تبي توصل؟ شنو تبي تسوي؟ بلدك متميز في بالضبط في شنو؟ في عنصر AI مثلا. فيعني هي في الأخير استراتيجية، وهذا اللي قاعد يعني نشتغل فيه.
إذا بدي أعمل أنا تلخيص أو what is the recipe so far that we've come up in this conversation of what would make a strong public-private partnership. Extracting from what you said, Mhandis Bassam and Dr. Ahmad and Madame Nisreen, you definitely need the partners from different sectors. But what is most important and what I've seen as recurrent in your answers is one, you need to have one organization that is gluing all of those partners together. هذا الجلو يلي عم مثل ما انت قلت عندك منظومه هي اللي عم بتجيب كورسيرا وعم بتجيب الليرنرز وعم بتجيب كل هدول، بس انتوا اللي عم تحطوا everything together in one place. And the second recipe ingredient of this recipe is one good strategy. You have to have one goal, one strategy, so that all the partners know what they're going to work towards. Thank you very much. We're going to go from this to our third idea. كيف فينا نبني شراكات مستدامة ما بتنتهي بس من بعد البايلوت أو بنكتشف إنه okay we did great and then everybody drops the ball. So we'll go back to you, Madame Nisreen. What role do international partners play in supporting Morocco's long-term education goals, and how do you measure the impact of these partnerships?
I like long-term. At FMPS, we've always been open to international, I would say, not partnership only, but maybe exchange or um, I don't know. I will find a word, the word later. I would, for example, say that we have with our partnership in Morocco, we are very close to the French corporation. So we have upskilled our pedagogical team uh, because for us it's very important to provide quality supervision and training to our educators. So this team is very important, and we've been investing in our pedagogical team since the beginning, since 2008. Providing specific diploma in high school, in preschool education. We also have other examples with other universities worldwide. But this is key for us because this is how the only way that we could upscale our educators. And then we also have our partnership with Coursera. And this is why I said that I like long term, because for us it's just not, and I like Julie's presentation, because for us it's not just use what Coursera is offering, but build something specific for us. And this is, we know that it's going to be a long path. We just started. It's a new partnership for us, and it's a key partnership. And we really believe that we could build something very nice, even if preschool education is not something new, but content in preschool education is not very widely offered. And the specific, really, the educators need a specific approach. We're talking, I know that there's also a panel tomorrow about micro credentials, and this particular target, the educators, they need this because of the nature of the work, because in many countries they're not highly they don't have high diploma, so it's better to go to this approach. And with Coursera, we believe that we could do that. We not only we could have access to good quality content, but also build in the long term. Our ambition is to have the content that we will design together and develop together, that we will be able to offer it in the Coursera platform for other educators worldwide to be used and help all the educators upskill their competencies. Something that I would like also to share is that we are working on an LTMS, a learning and training management system, that will accompany the development of our educators. And I would like to remind that the profession of educator is not um, really recognized worldwide. And we would like in Morocco to make it a real profession that goes from a certain level of expertise to high level of expertise, and we can do that if we don't provide good training. And this is why we came up with this LTMS. We presented our platform at the Global DPI Summit that was in Cape Town early November. Really, it was it interested many stakeholders, because this way of seeing how we could go from a junior educator to really experienced educator and accompany his or her development through all the work experience, with providing micro learning and micro credentials is really key. And this is one of the things that we could achieve with Coursera, because we're open to an international cooperation.
Thank you. So you're talking about how not only to make those partnerships last inside the nation, but how to replicate them outside Morocco. And I think this is very, very interesting. And thank you so much for the work you're doing and for trusting Coursera to be your partner in this journey. Engineer Bassam, let's move to the governance and sustainability side of the partnership. In your experience driving digital transformation, what governance mechanisms, partnerships framework, and long-term incentives, which is something you mentioned before, are essential to ensure that the national learning and innovation initiatives remain sustainable and impactful over many years?
طبعا هو أول شيء صراحة يجب أن يكون التبني الحكومي، وأكبر ستيك هولدر هي الحكومة في أي دولة. فلذلك متى ما تبنت الحكومة، ومعنى تبنيها معناتها الدعم الكبير والمستمر حق هذه المبادرات الوطنية للتعليم اللي هي متواكبة مع المتغيرات هذه. فأول عنصر هذا طبعا هو التبني حكومة أي دولة لهذه البرامج. المهم في استمرارية واستدامة البارتنر شيب هذه، اللي المهم العنصر الثاني اللي هو الفاليو، القيمة، الار او اي، خلينا نقول العائد اللي قاعد يطلع على أرض الواقع من هذا التعليم. هذه في غاية الأهمية. نفس اليوم في الافتتاح عندما عرضوا في الحقيقة الفيديو كيف المبادرات المؤسسة سمو الشيخ محمد بن راشد انعكست على العالم في متعلمين من عدة دول استفادوا من هذه المبادرة. فعندما يكون هناك أثر، والأثر هذا يكون يعني في الحقيقة لقياسات معينة على مستوى دولة، على مستوى ريجن، على مستوى عالم، فبالتالي من سنة لأخرى يعني. فمتى ما قدرنا نسوي نظام الار او اي مدروس والفاليو مالته واضحة، راح تكون الاستدامة من تجربتنا في الحقيقة أن الورد اوف ماوث في غاية الأهمية في استدامة أيضا التدريب هذا. النقطة الثانية تطوير المنهجية. اكتشفنا اليوم في مناهج اللي حتى الجائزة، جائزة سمو الشيخ سالم، added value حق المناهج التعليمية. فكيف عندما اجتمعنا مع الجهات التعليمية الخاصة، نتكلم عن الجهات الخاصة وليس الحكومية، في مبادرتنا غيرنا نظامهم في التعليم من خلال الاي اي. اكتشفوا من الدورة الأولى، ومثلا أعطي مثال في ريادة الأعمال، هناك الديزاين ثينكينج، هناك فيسز للديزاين ثينكينج. أنا شخصيا أخذت أسبوع كامل من الساعة 8 الصبح ل 5 العصر أخذ الدورة هذه كاملة. ولكن في الاي اي في 8 ساعات مع التولز اللي قدمها الاي اي في أخلص الديزاين ثينكينج كورس في يوم أو يومين. كان تغيير جذري. لذلك الإخوان اللي كانوا معنا في مركز الكويت للابتكار كانوا يقولون أنتم، أو في حتى كودد، أو حتى في كودد معروفة في عملية البرمجة وهذا، إن كيف الجائزة ونون بروفيت أورجانيزيشن أدد فاليو في فتحت سيجمنت جديد لهذه الجهات في التدريب. هذا واحد. واثنين، طورت مناهج غير موجودة في العالم. تجد الآن عندنا منهج في ريادة الأعمال غير موجود، غير مسبوق، لأن من الخبرة ومن الطريقة اللي إحنا وجهنا. لذلك إحنا في النون بروفيت أورجانيزيشن عندنا الفيجن، عندنا الفكر. مؤسسة الشيخ محمد بن راشد عندها الفكر، عندها الفيجن. فالفيجن والفكر موجود، ولكن كيف تطبقه على أرض الواقع بمساعدة الحكومة وجميع الستيك هولدرز بما فيها القطاع الخاص والجهات التعليمية. فلذلك عملية تطوير العنصر الثالث في الاستدامة هي عملية تطوير المناهج. وليش السبب الرئيسي هذا مهم؟ وأنا أقول لكم إياه من تجربة. اليوم مو مستعدين الجيل الجديد يقعد أسبوع يتعلم، ما يبي ساعتين ثلاثة يتعلم ويمشي. مش ما يبي جامعة 4 سنوات، المفروض الجامعات يبي له 2 في جامعات الآن 3 سنوات. وهناك فكر إن الآن الجامعة تصير 2. يمكن أخوي أدرى، أخوي أحمد، في اللي قاعد يحصل يعني. اليوم ما في أبنائنا في البيت ما يبي يتعلم، بيقعد له يوم كامل أو يومين أو كورس كامل. اليوم في وظائفنا التدريب التقليدي تقريبا قتل، لأن الأونلاين موجود وياخذ سيرتيفيكيشن أكثر وأسرع وأوفر بعد يعني. فلذلك المسؤولية كبيرة على احنا يعني في الحقيقة في الجائزة، احنا في الحقيقة عنصر مكون يعني مكون يعني بسيط في منظومة متكاملة. فأعتقد هذه عوامل الاستدامة في غاية التطوير حق الساتسفاكشن مال اليوزر والمتعلم، وتطوير العملية التعليمية نفسها حق الناس، الابتكار فيها. وهذا ما عملناه ولله الحمد من خلال برامج سبحان الله اللي موجهة للمستهلك. تصور البرامج اللي وجهناها للمستهلك صار فيها هذا الابتكار، وطلعت ما شاء الله في مناهج مبتكرة وعملية. يمكن تلقى النظري بس 5 دقائق ربع ساعة، وبعدين تشوف العملي. وقدر يصير فليب اللي ما سوى التعليم العادي. التعليم العادي عشان أنا أعتقد التعليم التقليدي علشان يصير تعليم مبتكر، إذا يجب أن الطالب يطلع مشروعه معاه بالجامعة، لأنه حل مشكلة وسوى شيء واقعي مو نظري تطبيقي. هذا اللي قاعد يصير في العالم. إذا بغينا
point. There are other elements, but for the sake of time, thank you very much, Engineer Bassam.
القطاع التعليمي دكتور أحمد, the question directly goes to you. How can educational partnerships in Sharjah be structured to go beyond immediate outcomes, and how can we close the gap that he mentioned, the K-12, to go into higher education and the labor market?
This question definitely is not just for Sharjah or UAE. This is a question all over the world, and I think one of the really bold steps we take last year, 2024, that we were asking ourselves, do we value what we measure, or we measure what we value, right? And we really take enough time from March till October through 21 design thinking sessions, and thank you for mentioning design thinking. And the main focus with those sessions is what we value in Sharjah. What we value, and accordingly we'll build a system to measure what we value, right? And one of the bold steps we take in Sharjah for our next strategy 2025-2028 is to introduce the portrait of a graduate. We try to envision what we would love to see in our learners in the future, right? Definitely on top of IB, Indian curriculum, British, American, whatever, what else we would love to see, right? And we come up with a lovely acronym, we name it STRONG, and we are saying that STRONG is the portrait of a graduate in Sharjah. S is steward, leader, the T is a thinker, critical thinking, and the R is resourceful, and the O is open-minded, however rooted to values and morals, and the N is navigator, someone who can navigate with ambiguity, and the G is a great communicator. These are the 6 competencies we are trying to build in all and every and each learner in Sharjah. Definitely we are doing this not only through the current curriculum, but also we are trying to change the pedagogy, the way, the how to teach, right? And this is where we are teaching math and science and history and social studies. However, we are trying to embed within the teaching ways how to improve and instill the inquiry-based learning, the problem-based learning, the project-based learning, where students are learning skills more than the science itself. And if you think about it, this is what we need for the future, right? It's very easy to upload all the medical books in an LLM and let him do the investigation. And this is what's happening now, by the way. So the radiology now is almost gone as a specialty with medicine and physician, right? And now we can do everything more accurate, actually, through the AI. But what's missing now is how to build and develop doctor who is empathize, right? Who is able to communicate, who is smart enough to structure his way of thinking, is to add the human element on top of the data and numbers. This is what we are missing. We need to build humans more than building robots or building someone who is really memorizing, all the books and topics we have. And definitely we are doing a lot of steps now. So in 2025 we start to crowdsource this type of measuring skills with a lot of edtech around the world, and now we are working with one of the edtech companies to measure skills. So imagine how to measure skills within age of 10, 12, 13 until 19 and 18 within the schools. Again, how to bring the right intervention, the right courses, the right solutions that can really capitalize on the skills of students, and also trying to solve and improve whatever weaknesses we have. And this is really important, and I see it a big shift in education in Sharjah, and I hope that in the future this also will roll out across all the world.
Thank you so much. And I see we're right on time, so I hope we can have one question to summarize this or to close this panel. In your opinion, what is the recipe or one line that builds long-term PPP collaborations? Like, what is the recipe or what is the one main ingredient in your opinion? We will start with you, Madame Nisreen.
I would say, first of all, there should be a political will, because the government should really support the idea, and if we want it to be sustainable. Second, there should be financing also, because we can't have programs without financing. It's always, we can talk all we want, but if we don't have money, we can't go very far. And then we have to have expertise, because when we talk about private partnership, that means that the private sector is bringing something, so it's bringing the expertise. We should have the expertise available.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Excellent. So, expertise, financing, and the government public strategy, politic. Yeah. Mahandis Bassam.
أول organized ecosystem.
Dr. Ahmad.
For me, I will say
بالنسبة
fits all. In education, one size does not fit all. So please don't bring any solution from
Absolutely.
outside and just implement it somewhere, assuming it will work. Yeah.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure having you here. Thank you. A round of applause to our panelists.
شكرا.